Hello and welcome to Disheveled with Adam White. I'm coming at you here. I didn't have stuff up the last 2 weeks because I filmed it before I got COVID, and then I've been laid up with COVID for the last 2 weeks, but I'm still able to get this video out before I missed a week. So my voice is still coming back, so I may not uh, be on here a real long time today, but I the good news is I was able to catch up on my reading because I had nothing else to do but sit around and have a sore throat and just generally feel miserable. And but I'm over it now for the most part. I've still got some symptoms, but I tested negative today, so hopefully it's mostly behind me. But anyway, you all don't care about that. What I read this week, among several things, uh, was Battle Royale by Koushun Takami, and this is a new translation by Nathan Collins. Um, it was one that Criminali recommended as a Christmas read, and if you had time to read a long book, and I didn't get to do it at Christmas, which is when I was going to do it, but like I said, I got sick, so this was the first book I read, uh, and I really enjoyed it. And plus, nothing says a holly jolly Christmas like putting 42 15-year-olds on an island together and making them murder each other until there's only one left. So thank you, Criminoli, for that holiday recommendation. Uh, but point is, I really enjoyed the book, and if you're thinking, well, putting a bunch of kids on an island and making them fight each other to the death, that sounds like the Hunger Games. Well, that is the Hunger Games. That's what they took the Hunger Games from, was Battle Royale. Except the Hunger Games was a PG version with romance, and it was the nice way of not of somehow getting through it, killing people but not killing people. I don't know. I never really understood the Hunger Games very well. Um, but Battle Royale really showed what happens when you put that many students on an island and say, hey, you're doing it till there's one left and you're not getting off any other way. So you really find out what you're capable of uh, in that situation. Now, it starts out with uh, the students on a bus thinking they're going on a field trip, which they are. It's just not the kind they're thinking about, and they get gassed in their bus and wake up on an island in a classroom and have a sadistic teacher there and who explains to them that you're on this island, no one's going to help you, no one's going to do anything to save you, you're here to kill each other until there's one left. Now you follow mainly, and I hope I'm getting these names right, Shuya and Kawada and Noriko. Uh, they kind of team up to get through the to try to get through the thing together, which of course is going to cause a problem at the end when there's three of them left, if they make it to the end. But they don't worry about that. They just help each other out as they can uh, throughout the thing, and that's the main characters you follow. You end up following all of them. I will say I got a little. It was a little hard to follow at the beginning because you had 42 students, all with Japanese names, and when you were following that many people, it got a little confusing sometimes, but you get through it and it starts focusing on certain characters, And when it focuses on certain characters, you really get a feel for who those characters are, even if they're not in it for very long. And you really get a sense of who each one of them are. And there's really strong character work in this book, and that's really what makes it. Because you think, okay, who's going to be, uh, who's going to just fold? Will anyone kill themselves? Will anyone become like a mass murderer? There's just a lot of questions that you have, and you find out in here what even people that are 15 years old are capable of when their life's on the line. And some of them become sadistic killers. Others um, try to get through it without killing anybody, but that doesn't work real well in this one. So, like I said, unlike the Hunger Games, this one people die hard, and it's really, you just, when they first got there, each contestant, I guess you'd call them, gets a random day bag, and it has one weapon in it, which could be anything from a fork to an Uzi, and you really get screwed if you get the fork. But like this one kid did, but um, it just was a really fascinating character study. I know that it gets um, a lot of flack for the violence, because there is a lot of violence in it, and for being a really harsh reality uh, in this story. But I really think that that's secondary to the character work in it, because you really get a good sense of the characters. Even like I said, if it's someone that's not going to last very long, he really gives each uh, student, when they have their time, they really, you get a sense of who the students are, what they're like as people, what they might have grown up to be had circumstances been different, and you just really get a good sense of character work in this, and I thought it was a really outstanding job. Um, like I said, there is a lot of violence, so if you like violence, then this is a book for you. Uh, anyway, really good book, really solid story. Uh, turns out in a way you might not expect at the end, and it just really had, like I said, a lot of good character work. And like I said, right now a lot of the names escape me, but like I said, you start out with 42 students that are all 15 years old, and that's the age that a lot of them, that's what they're going to reach. So, and that's the end. But you go into it knowing that there's going to be a lot of deaths in it, because like I said, they put them on this island to kill each other. And there's really not much of an explanation for it, other than they're teaching people that you can't trust anyone, because you don't know what's inside someone until you're put in an extreme situation. And that's why it's so much better than the Hunger Games, because the Hunger Games is all pomp and circumstance, and oh, look at these young children, and all who's in love with who, and how are they going to get through it, killing everyone without killing anyone. And it just, you don't get any of that sentimentality in this. You get what would really happen were you put in these circumstances, and you find some people, like I said, just go insane. Some people try to keep their humanity in it, even though they have to do things they don't like. Anyway, my voice is starting to go here, so I'm going to cut it off there. But I want to say Battle Royale, very good book. I highly recommend it. And I will have some more coming up for you next week. I've got a kind of a grab bag of stuff coming up with some different types of books and some manga and some comics and just a really random selection of stuff. So, thanks for hanging out with me this week, and I will catch you guys next week. Hopefully, I'll be feeling better.